Black Girls Podcast. I'm Aries.
And I am Kim.
And we are back.
Back again. All right. Episode 13.
13.
Here we are. It is September. It's officially fall.
Listen.
Hot girl summer is over.
Hot girl summer
But it's
is
still
over.
hot outside.
But it's starting to get cooler at night a little bit. The little breeze.
That's true.
I like that. It's only like this little itty bitty window where the weather feels like really good.
Yes.
And I think last year we had way too much heat for too long. Remember? We couldn't wear boots for a while.
I know. You know I like to rock my
I
cowboy
was
boots, my rain boots, just...
October, we were still
in sandals.
hot. Yeah, I'm like, man, it's
I was like,
confusing.
it's hot girl summer over. Because in Chicago, right about now, it will be chilly.
It's officially cuffing season. So grab your boo and your potential bae. And, get your cuddle on.
Get you some good cover, right? Get you some good linen. Yep, pull out
Heavyweight.
that good fleece.
Heavyweighted comforters.
Yes. Because like right now, it's in the 90s.
Dang, and it's like 6 o'clock in the evening right now.
Now it is getting darker earlier, which I don't really care for.
I know.
Because I equate darkness to bedtime.
Right. And it'll be like, what, 8?
I think it said sunset 7:14.
Yeah.
So
I don't like that.
I don't like it at all.
When you're maneuvering around still,
I don't
like out
like
somewhere
that.
at the store or something,
yeah.
it's like, it's too dark.
Yeah, I feel
home.
unsafe. Right.
Let me get in my safe shelter.
Exactly.
That's that hood back.
Yeah.
It's dark.
It's dark. You gotta get in the house.
Ain't nothing good out at night.
So let's jump right into our episode. What's been going on lately?
Interesting comments.
I'll say this. I went to an event called Motivated Moms.
Ooh.
The company I work for had a table, so they sponsored a couple people to attend, and I had the opportunity and pleasure to attend. And the speaker, the keynote, was Dondre Whitfield from
He's
Queen
really
Sugar.
good.
He is.
He's been really going around doing a lot of speaking gigs.
I did not know that either.
He was on
Black Love,
which
I binge watched the other day.
So the old school folks, he was Vanessa's boyfriend, Robert, on The Cosby Show.
Oh, that's right.
Remember she loved Robert? He was so cute.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
And he is married to
Sally Richardson.
Sally Richardson, who's just so gorgeous.
I found out that she's from the south side of Chicago.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that explains a lot.
It does. He even brought that up in his speech. He said, my wife is from the south side of Chicago. And he was talking about leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, just as a black man leading, he says, first of all, my wife is from Chicago. So you already know.
You can tell how she is, like, especially when they were on Black Love. That's like the time you can see. She's like, I'm like, this is how it's going to. I'm like, okay, that makes so much sense.
And they've been married for at least 15, 16 years, which is really unheard of in Hollywood.
Exactly.
And he even said it. He said that people have approached him like, are you still married? He's like, well, why would that be the question?
Because in Hollywood,
he's like, that's like 80 years.
Exactly.
And honestly, haven't heard anything that he's cheating, any scandals or anything like that. So he keeps a really clean profile.
He's really been on a mission to educate men.
He has a book coming out.
Okay, that makes sense.
Man versus male.
Okay, because he talks about toxic masculinity and stuff like that.
And one of the quotes that he said that really stuck with me, he says, when you enable a boy, you disable a man.
Ooh, I like that.
That was profound.
As a mom of boys, I remember reading this book about, it was for mothers to sons or whatever. And it talked about like allowing your sons to take risks at a young age. Little things like letting them, when they want to jump off the couch or do little stuff that's kind of considered maybe dangerous. Like allowing them that space, because it's a guy that wrote the book, and he was saying that as moms we'll be like, no, I want to protect, the kids in the little bubble and stuff. But what we're doing is handicapping them as they get older, because they'll be fearful of things more so than they won't be willing to take as many risks as men. Like when you talk about guys who may be scared of rejection, I mean, it goes all the way into that kind of stuff.
Wow, that's pretty deep.
How the effects of how you parent your kids is the same, same kind of thing.
He basically talked about coddling as well. It was a very good conversation. He spoke about the difference between a male and a man. He said a male is basically a man with a penis. He said a man is someone who is a covering, right? He covers his community, his family. He doesn't look to receive service. He is to be of service.
Oh, come on, somebody.
I was like,
where they at? No, but that is good. And I think we need to talk more about that.
Yeah. And more black men need to mentor to
show that in action. What does that look like?
Yes. So not just mentoring, but doing it in action. Because if they see it, they're going to replicate it. And we say this all the time. You can't be what you don't see.
That's so true. I mean, and it goes even deeper to like our communities. We used to have those like people that you look up to as kind of the leader. They're showing you kind of where community activists, and usually it'll be like a pastor or something like that. But I think that as we're evolving as a society, a lot of those like male chauvinistic things that we kind of grew up under is changing to be like, it's not about being this dominating, I'm the man, so I'm the blah, blah, blah. It's not about that. It's really about encompassing what does that look like, for your families and your communities to act out this.
And he gave a very good example about that. He was like, I have to be the leader of my household. He said, so when I decided that I wanted to study the Bible, he said, I didn't go tell Sally to study the Bible. He said, I started reading the Bible. He said, and my wife and kids would see, oh, he's reading the Bible. He said, I started going to Bible study. And she's like, hey, hon, where you going? He said, I'm going to Bible study. He said, so he was showing them.
Ooh.
And then the rest of the family started to read the Bible. He said, another example, he went vegan. He said he didn't force his kids to do that. He said he essentially started changing the way he ate, right? And so he said his kids were like, oh, what are you eating? He said, hey, you want to try it? And they adopted that same type of lifestyle. So he didn't have to tell them. He did it through action.
And that's how we all should be too. You know, just in general, that's really what it's about. And when Jesus was talking to the disciples about go and make disciples, meaning you're going to, because you're living out this life, then people are going to want to follow.
They're going to want to follow.
Yeah.
Pretty much like Instagram, influencers.
Right.
You want to follow people who are doing positive things.
Right.
Or in some cases, some people want to just follow just because, right?
Right. And I'm like, don't want to just randomly follow any old body saying anything.
Correct.
Where are you leading me to?
So come on, somebody.
Don't just lead me anywhere. Hold on. I need to know where we're going.
I got questions.
Right.
I was telling somebody, so I posted this meme, and I don't know if you saw it on Facebook the other day. It says, me on Friday. It says, what are you doing? Well, it depends on what you're telling me.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't like...
It depends on the next words after this sentence.
Yes. I am not that person where you just say, hey, Kim, are you busy on Friday? Well, tell me. Yeah, why?
It depends. I might be busy for that.
Yes. And someone said, well, I don't think that's... I actually had a debate with someone. It was a guy. And so he was like, well... I just think that's being deceptive. And so I'm like, well, I don't think it's deceptive because I do know how to tell people no, I'm not interested in doing that. But give me the full details.
I used to get into it in a relationship before about this too because the guy would be like, so not what you're doing, but it'd be like, so like you just said, let's say Friday, what are you going to be doing Friday? Be like, why? Obviously you're asking for something, so who's being deceptive? You're trying to see if I'm free so that you can kind of trap me into doing whatever it is.
Yes.
So why don't you just say, hey, Friday, I like to take you to a movie.
At this
or
such
Friday,
and such time.
Are you available to go to dinner?
Yes.
Or something like that. And then I'll be like, okay, let me check and make sure I'm available, blah, blah, and I'll let you know, or whatever. But at this age, we're just too old to be acting like people don't have a schedule. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm booked, busy, and blessed.
Right, okay, come on, girl. But you know how, be like, oh, it used to be a diss to say, let me check my calendar. Remember?
Yeah.
Like, let me check my calendar.
I literally do have to check my calendar.
Now it's like for real, because if it's not in my phone on the calendar, I forgot about it. Like I don't even know that it exists.
It may or may not have made it to the calendar. Can you remember that time you were like, "Oh, so and so's wedding is today"? I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Her wedding is today." Oh shoot!
Let me hurry up and find something to work.
Right. So
yeah,
I don't like that. Be upfront. I mean, I've even had people at work to say, "What are you doing at 12 o'clock? Why? Do you need me to attend a meeting? Like, give me the details."
That's the deception, is when somebody's trying to find out what you're doing just to see if they can make you. And I guess what? I ain't in that season, because even if I got a free calendar, if you say the wrong thing, and now I'm not available for that.
No, I'm not available. Pretty much. And I just think that's deceptive.
It is. Yeah, people try to flip stuff on you. They try to flip it up, make it like psychology. It's not.
But you know what? I'm open to perspective, right?
Right.
We don't know what their past was.
You never know. But that's why you gotta communicate.
Oh gosh, communication is key.
It's very key.
It's key. So getting back into leadership.
Yes.
Black women leading.
So did you see the Fantasia thing?
I saw the clip, and then I did go back and actually look at the interview on Breakfast Club.
Okay.
Because if you would have just looked at the clip, see, they set you up. That's how
they definitely did.
That's how they get you to go and look at the
interview. But I also, so my opinion, and I think I talked about this before, about the growth mindset and like really don't make these broad, opinionated statements all the time. Like, I'm the first one to be like, I'm not an expert. Let me just tell you, this is what works for me and my family and my household and my situation. I do think it came off very, this is what y'all need to do.
And this is where you're lacking.
And it was like, why we aren't. So backstory, when she, and I don't remember exactly how she said it, but she was really talking about like leadership in the home as far as like a married couple. Mm-hmm. Let your husband lead and learn how to basically submit. Which I think people already be like,
the words
is like just offensive. You're like, get offended. But really, it's like to come under authority or whatever. So people are like, authority? Why would I even say that? Like, women, a lot of women don't like to say that. And I'm not opposed to male leadership.
Not at all.
In the household.
I welcome it.
Listen, I've been leading for a long time.
A very long time.
I'm tired. But no, I think that real leadership is not about what you call what's it called? Not
service.
Not like not hierarchy. What's it called when there's one person that's like
dictatorship.
Dictatorship. It's not about dictatorship.
No.
It's not like, oh, I'm man equals I know more and I know better than. No, that's not true either. But I do think the covering part is key, because if it all goes down, the leader is the one that gets the, they get the success and the loss, right? Yeah. But if we're making decisions together, and a real strategic leader knows how to lead
without
through
saying
people.
It. Yep.
You leading, they don't even know you lead.
This is true. And
because of how you lead.
Correct. And leadership, even at work. So take an example. I don't have the title, but I'm a leader. Mm-hmm. Right? And I do lead on a daily basis.
I feel like most of the best ones don't have the title. Seriously.
You have a good point. My boss asked me one time, he says, so are you ready to be, do you want to be a leader? I said, oh, I'm already a leader.
I could totally hear you telling me.
I did. I said I might not have the title and the pay.
Are we talking about title? If so,
correct.
Okay, let's talk about what that looks like.
And
what that entails.
What type of pay that comes with.
Exactly.
Right? So that's a different topic. But I would say that I've always been a leader for the most part, or I've grown into that leadership role.
Yeah.
And so it's similar to a man. Like, I need to trust that you can lead.
What are you leading me to?
Yes.
Like I said earlier. Because there's some people who just be wanting to...
They can't lead themselves.
They ain't led nothing. Nowhere. And then try to come to you and start leading. Like, hold on. Where you been practicing this at?
And do you have receipts?
Like you just talked about Dondre Whitfield. He started acting out something that it in turn created a leadership. He might not have even been saying, I'm doing this so that they can follow me. Right. He started just doing something to better himself.
Yes.
And in turn, he was an influence on his family. And that's really what true leadership is about, is showing through your actions that here's what I'm doing to show you that I love you, that I care for you, that I can do this successfully, whatever it is, if it's in work,
Yes.
I can create, I can motivate a team. I can build collaboration across silos and all this different stuff.
I can be of service to someone.
Exactly. That's why I talk about servant leadership.
Yes.
That's not something you got to say. It's just what it is.
If you have to say it, you more than likely aren't.
Jesus washed the disciples' feet. Ain't no right he needed to. And then when Peter was like, I wish you would. I'm not letting you wash my. He's like, well, if I don't, you ain't gonna have no part of me. He got down there. He's like, well, wash my whole body then. He's like, well, give my hair, my everything.
Everything.
Because that's what he was trying to do, was be an example of what it looks like. Because to humble yourself, to know that just because I know I'm the lead, I have that title or whatever, I can still come here and be of service to you with all that being said. So I think in a household, the same thing.
Yeah, because as Black women, we have different opportunities to lead. Mm-hmm. So you have Black women leading in corporate America, the workplace. Then we have leadership at home.
Yes.
And then in our relationships.
Right.
So we have to know how to pivot.
Yes. I like that word.
We have to know when to pivot.
Because you got to change it according to your situation.
Correct. So we may be leading in the workplace, at home, right? And then if you're married or if you're in a relationship, you have to know how to say, okay, I need to pivot and I need to follow.
Yes, because to be a good leader, you got to be able to follow.
Correct.
And I know that there's a lot of opinions there because I personally, all those words, I know I had difficulty in that area coming up young just because I was so independent. And I think sometimes when we're like, I got my own house, I got my own job, 2 jobs, work hard, I'm a bad rock. So like when you're doing all that, you're like, I don't need you. Yeah. So what are we doing? Like, here's what it's going to be like, and this time my life. And I don't think anybody wants to be around that.
Right. And
real
of
life,
course, they want to be needed and wanted.
Yes. As we will in certain areas too. So like you said, that pivot is super important. To like
that pivot.
Look, you're going to be saying, can you come back and lead a little bit over here? Because I'll be like, it's on you. Yep. I'm going to let you go ahead and have that.
I'm sitting back.
I will suggest. But yeah, what you're leading to, like where is your source and where you're getting your information from. Sometimes it's hard to follow people that are not sometimes. It's hard to follow somebody who is not going in the right
And I know I've
direction.
had a couple of relationships that didn't work and they told me, oh, you don't follow well. Well, you don't lead well, in my opinion. So, and at that point, I really should have known that relationship wasn't going to work because I didn't trust. Yeah. So if I don't trust you, then there's no way that I can allow you to lead me.
And that goes back to like, I feel like we talked about this, but when Pastor Conway was talking about capacity, like you may only have this capacity to lead this small little, maybe just yourself. Maybe it's just you. And then maybe you can add 1 or 2, some kids or something like that. But everybody's not necessarily capable. I think you are capable to lead within like a family structure. I think everyone has a level. It's just about mastering it in the way that works for your personality, your style, and all that. Because there's a lot of like quiet, leaders that just are, like you said, influencing through their actions. Yeah. More so than,
And just like if you don't know what leadership is, it's like, where do you go to learn?
Right.
You may have to enroll in a class. You might have to solicit a mentor.
Read some books.
Yes. So if you don't know how to lead, there is a way that you can learn.
Because then you got people who say, well, I didn't have a dad that led in the house, or maybe they grew up with not somebody, certain people in the household or male role models or whatever. So you got to supplement.
Yeah. Like what Pastor Conway is saying, who's covering you?
Mm-hmm. So you should have some male or some kind of leadership person in your life that helps you. Just like we talk about mentors and stuff.
Yeah, that you can glean from, right? Yes. That are successfully leading. Because even you think about corporate America, everybody that's in the title that's a leader, they're not necessarily a great leader. Mm-mm. I would call them bosses.
Because you're just bossing people around.
Correct. That's it. And then the other component is single women, right? Yeah. So I know me, when I started dating someone, they wanted to take out my trash. And I was like, wait, what are you doing? I can take out my own trash.
Oh, I'm not on that.
But mentally, I was used to and accustomed to doing everything for myself. So I'm like, well, why are you doing that? Like, you don't take out my trash. And my father had passed away. And it had been years or a couple of years. So it wasn't in my mind.
See, I'm totally opposite.
I was like the independent woman.
If you in here, you take
Then I thought about it. I was like, wait a minute. He wants to be needed. He wants to be wanted to do something, to add value. Correct. So I was like, oh, okay, you can take out the trash, and then I need you to patch that up.
Change his filter.
Yep. And that light bulb. So I quickly pivot.
Yeah, I was about to say, I ain't never been on that, because I'm like, you can take care of that.
Yeah, but as single women, single black women especially, I feel like we are so accustomed to doing everything for ourselves, right? We're taking our cars to get service. Right? We're doing everything. So we don't necessarily sometimes know how to make that pivot to say, okay, let me follow, let me trust, but we also have to have discernment on who to allow us to lead.
Boom.
Because everyone is not deserving.
Amen. From the choir. I'm just right here. I'm like, I think, like, for me, the independent thing, if you go back to, like, we talked about, like, the relationship, the single life and all that stuff, and, like, how you might have had in the old times where the guy, it was established, I'm the man, I'm the provider, the woman is going to be at home taking care of the house and the kids and all that stuff. Well, obviously that time has kind of shifted into some other, you still have that traditional role within some households, but others may be different. Maybe the wife is the one bringing home the bacon, and the husband is the stay-at-home dad. Like, you got those families. I think still within the structure, you need to figure out what does leadership look like within your household and your family that works for you. Because I think there are some families that literally the wife is the one, the husband trusts the wife to make a lot of these certain decisions, but maybe there's others that he's more of the active person on. I think that if I'm better with finances, why shouldn't the woman be the one kind of helping with that? But if it's a partnership, as far as the household is concerned, we're still on that, then there should still be communication. There should still be, compromise and discussion.
There you go.
It's not just, like you said, dictatorship where somebody's going, I'm the man and
this
I'm
is
the one.
What you're going to do. And
I'm putting my foot down.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know if I would do well with that.
I don't think I would do well with it. Like, you need to influence me. I'm going to have to look at you and say, you know what? I trust him. Yep, I agree.
He has my best interest in mind. Yes. He has, his track record shows that he cares, he's going to do the best interest of our family, our household.
Our harm to me, right? Mm-hmm. Financially, emotionally, physically. All of that.
Everything.
Yeah.
So I think it definitely is within context, right?
It is.
I know that now, we've been really pushing a lot for black women in leadership roles as far as corporate America is concerned, because we don't see it. We don't see a lot in the pipeline. You got some outliers, but in the grand scheme, it's not, you don't see any black women CEOs of major, Fortune 500 companies.
Yeah, that's true.
We had our 1, 2, here and there, but it's not something that we're seeing, which we already know. We're leading a lot. We got the ability. It's not about that.
I mean, because we're leading households. We're leading kids. We're getting them to their different activities. We're leading at church, our sororities, different organizations that we're on. So we do have the leadership skills. It's just a matter of us getting into having the opportunity, securing the seat, and getting in the pipeline.
Yes.
We're going to school. We're getting education. We're enrolling in leadership programs, master classes.
Exactly. So it's like the opportunity just needs to present itself so that we can act it out, because the preparation is being done. We've been doing this since day one. Yeah. Since we got here, even all the way back to even in those slavery days, the ladies in the house was still looking out for those out there in the field.
This is true.
A lot of that narrative is always like, oh, they were the house Negroes.
Yeah.
They were thinking they were better. There might have been some like that, but most of the time, and I don't know what I was reading, Ta-Nehisi Coates has a new book that just came out called Water Dancer or something like that, I think. Okay. But they talk about like how there were women they didn't want to be in there because they're closer. they're under scrutiny way more. Out there, they had their family.
A little bit more freedom.
They had a little bit more of like, it was a give, it's like, give and take on either one, right? Some would be like, well, we don't want to be in there because we right there. They're going to be on us. Kind of like how we feel at work sometimes. Like, you right in their face. Out there, at least, y'all got your little church. You got your people that you can kind of bond with and stuff. So I think even there, you're like, okay, I'm making decisions over here to make sure that y'all get treated well out there, or vice versa, So I just think that we need to do more than just be like, this is what you need to do at your house. I don't necessarily think that it's always just a one thing.
It just goes back to what you said. A plus B does not always equal C.
Exactly. And in the Bible, when it talks about submission, it says, submit yourselves one to another.
Yes.
This is a constant work. It's not just dictatorship, right? So if you're showing that
you shouldn't want to dictate.
I know. I'm like, yeah.
That's control.
It is, but sometimes it takes seeing that to know that that's what you're doing. Some people are just controlling, and they don't even see themselves. They think they're being regular. You're the problem, not them, because they know better than you.
That's true.
So if that's your attitude, it's going to take...
And it does take some emotional intelligence, because I think at one point I was controlling, but I think I was put in that position, and I had to check myself and say, okay, you know what? This is being controlling. And that's why that relationship didn't work out. Yeah. But I don't want to control you. You weren't stepping up to be a leader.
That's also true. And I've definitely had that as well. It kind of exploits your controlling nature. Because I've had dudes that be like, you just want to be in control. You want to be... I don't, however, clearly whatever we had is showing both of our weaknesses here.
Yes.
Which mine is... I'm an Aries, I'm an alpha, and the alpha's going to, if you know anything about dogs, I used to be watching Dog Whisperer with my mom all the time. We think we dog whisperers in real life.
Gosh.
So when alphas come in touch with each other, one is going to establish themselves as the dominant alpha. Even in an alpha situation, one is going to step up that little bit more, to let them know, like, okay, now, like, you there, but I'm here too, and that's what I feel like a woman that is an alpha female, you do. If we're talking about relationship stuff, it's something about a male alpha that will automatically kind of be like, okay, cool, like, well, let me chill then. I don't got to be as, in control or whatever, because I know, okay, you got it, we good.
Yeah. You're gonna choose where we're gonna have dinner. Yep, and I'm okay with it.
Not all the time. But,
well, you're right. It just depends. But sometimes I don't want to make the choice.
I don't always want to make choices. It's hard making decisions all day long.
It is.
Sometimes I'll be like, okay, well, just surprise me.
And with those alphas, goes back to that Meg the Stallion. Handle me? Who gonna handle me?
But there is a person.
There is a person.
That can.
It takes a special person.
It does.
It really does. And
I think we just got to be better on recognizing what you just said about who are the people that you're, if we're talking about relationships, who to follow.
Yep.
Right? What are they doing? What are they doing in their life? Are they leading anything? Are they doing anything of value? Do they share the same values? These are just things to think about, because if you got somebody who over here talking about, come on, we going to the devil worshiper, whatever place, I ain't going there. Like, you can't lead me that way. Like, so I need to know that whatever your expertise is in line with my, values as well. And I think what we were talking about with the Fantasia thing, I was like, I think that was what rubbed people the wrong way, was like, it kind of came off as if y'all over here trying to be the man. And it's like, well, let's back that up a little bit and see where that comes from.
Correct.
We didn't talk about male passivity. Yes. Going back to Dondre. It's like male passivity. Pastor Conway hates that. He always, his thing, like, I can't say no passive man. But it's a combo. You got the strong black woman, independent, IND, and then you got the man who down here shrieking, kind of to the responsibilities. And then now there's an imbalance. So we all need to do better.
We may all need to level up.
Level up.
Pivot and level up.
Yes. I like all those words.
Yeah.
It's good. Look at you. Pivot is a good one. Because I do think it's just something to think about. It's something to look at where you are. I told you when I talked about how I saw myself on that video talking crazy to my ex-husband.
Yes.
I was like, that's ugly. I don't like it. Something should feel not good, especially if you're trying to be a better human. I'm trying to be better every day. I'm trying to get closer. The closer you get to God, the closer you're going to get to fit, like seeing what Pastor said today about when you see God, the next step is you see your sin because he's
That's
so
true.
good. You're like, I should be comparing myself to him all the time. So
Yes.
when I feel like, ooh, I'm not doing great, that's who I'm looking at. So if you're this person who's in this, role, I should see something that's familiar in you that's the saying, okay, cool, I can follow that because we on the same page.
Yeah.
We too busy trying to just be happy to have somebody.
Yes.
I'm cool off
Come
of
on,
that.
somebody.
I'm cool. I'm good, love.
I'm not easily.
Enjoy.
I'm not easily led either.
Yeah, somebody gonna really have to. We got to wrangle her.
And I'm quick too.
But that's where we're talking about the influence.
That's true.
Because you can be influenced.
I absolutely can.
So that's so
Especially
different.
if they're like they have a hint of gray.
We're gonna put a call out. We're gonna put a call.
You know
out.
that hint of gray. That's some wisdom out there. They done been through some stuff.
Right. Yeah, you gotta make it work. I think it's just something we've talked about this before about kind of give each other a break, but also let's do our self-awareness checks and see where we're at and acknowledge it. Be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm being controlling and I need to work on that. And I haven't mastered that quite yet. So let me just
I'm a work in
continue
progress.
working on this until I kind of get there. And it is a journey. It takes time. So
And that's where you may need to seek counseling.
Look, I'm all about it.
Which we're going to have a guest therapist on.
Yes.
Talking about a variety of probably mental health.
Yeah. I think I love where we're going with that. How people are talking about it a lot more and making it not as much of a stigma, that it used to be. I just think we need to keep talking about it because that's really what it is. It's really talking out things with someone who is able to kind of guide the conversation. Because we could talk to each other for some stuff, but there's some things that just you need that kind of unbiased guidance per se, because they don't tell you exactly what to do, but sometimes they might be saying, what's the lie you're telling yourself right now? You can be going down the wrong path, and your friend, it might be coming at you out of love because they're trying to protect you or whatever and giving you certain opinions that may not be where you need to go. But I don't know how I got on that. But anyway, we need to keep talking about mental health.
We really do. And I think more black women are seeking mental health. I don't know about the statistics for black males. I'm hoping that they are. I would love to see an increase in that, and that might help. I went to we have the same doctor, and she says if everybody went and got a mental health checkup like they get a physical, we might be in a better world.
I like what Charlamagne the God is doing. He's been talking about it a lot.
He does.
Lot. Like he's been using his platform for that.
He really does.
So I think that's helping. Just people who are doing it, being like, hey, because in the white community, they've been doing it for a long time. They've been talking about it. Well, I was over here talking to my therapist and whatever, and you're like...
They're like, child, going to take that to God and pray about it, and he going to work it out.
Exactly. And some of that stuff is like, we need both. Yep. That's why he created...
I was going to say, he created them
exactly.
for a reason.
Like, I'm all about the combo pack.
The combo pack?
It don't have to be one or the other.
Like a combo meal.
Yes. Give me all of that. I need meditation.
Might need some
yoga,
medicine.
Some medication. Everything. Shoot.
Medication and meditation. I like it.
But yeah, that growth, it all comes from growth. Men, what Dondre was saying about the men, growing as men, as, learning what their leadership should look like and getting around other men that are positive, and it's all a process just to try to be better.
So, as we wrap up,
what's the call to action?
Our call to action, I would say, is, because we're saying this is a black women lead, and we're pivoting in 3 different aspects.
Yeah.
Career, work, and relationships.
Yeah.
So.
And our leadership looks different than others.
Yes.
Being Black women.
Yes.
By just virtue of how our lives are kind of set up in society. So what we do may be different, from others.
It will be different.
But we need to focus on that, on each of those aspects.
Absolutely. And so one is learning to follow. You can't lead unless you're a great follower.
I agree.
And I would say the other is developing those leadership skills, right? Honing in on what is leadership. So both you and I have had the opportunity to be part of a emerging leaders program, which is to me just a leadership.
Yeah.
I think that there are tons of leadership classes out there. You need to find the one that works for you.
And maybe get a coach.
Yes.
Someone that can help you at least for a little while, maybe not for a long time, but just someone who kind of guides you through what that looks like.
Right. And I would say, like, I've had people approach me in corporate America. If you don't have leadership skills and you aren't able to get that in your role, well, you can join an organization and sit on a board.
Yes.
So, I mean, and you've done that.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And I'm sure you've learned a lot from that.
Because you may lead a committee.
Yes.
And you got to figure out, how do I even get people to do things? Or how do we accomplish this goal as a team by influencing the team to show their best, skills and all this different stuff. So, yeah, it's definitely something to practice.
And those are LinkedIn skills.
Yeah.
Resume building skills.
Especially if you're trying to get promoted.
Yes.
That's stuff that they'll use, for a job. Because they're looking like, where have you led? Nowhere. Okay, we're going to keep you in this role here, because you haven't proven that you can lead.
And volunteering to lead, like, stretch assignments, I would say. Like, projects where no one else wants to lead them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, be very cognizant of that because you don't want to do the work and not get paid because we want our pay.
And sometimes your pay could be the experience.
Correct.
So it just depends. It has to be something that you can see.
Yep.
The cost benefit analysis.
Correct. No, your ROI, because I told a colleague of mine, she got the skill, right? And I'm like, okay, you've gone to the class. Now you're not in the role. You don't have it yet. But get the experience, because once you get the experience, guess who that's going to benefit?
Exactly.
So it's not all about them. It's also about you.
Yeah.
And then I would say the last one is discernment on who to follow.
Yes. Which means you got to work on your spiritual life.
Yep.
So that you can heed to what the Spirit is leading. Because I do think, God definitely talks to us. Internally, the Holy Spirit will be like,
Dondre Whitfield, you know what he said? He said, women, you all have instinct.
Yes.
We have.
You'll feel that.
Said you can walk into a room like, this ain't it.
Exactly.
But we do have that. We listen to your gut and your instinct. You know whether or not that person is someone you can trust.
We're good at talking ourselves into some stuff if you just want something.
Yeah.
So you got to figure out, what is my motivation? What's making me draw towards someone that I know is not someone that I need to be drawn to?
Yes.
Am I just thirsty? Then let's talk about that, because then you need to deal with that. But also, really, really listening, because when you look back, you be like, I knew I shouldn't.
The red flags were there.
I knew I shouldn't have been dealing with this person, but we all do it. We just gotta learn from it.
Yep.
So,
educate ourselves.
Yeah. So we all about that. That's all we talk about on here is like reading some books and just trying to get better. I mean, it's a journey. It all is a journey. So.
And what did Pastor Conway say today? Enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey.
Don't beat yourself up if you happen to fall into something where it wasn't what you should be in.
Right.
But learn from it.
I always say take the lesson, learn from it.
Yeah.
So that you don't repeat it.
Yep.
Because if you don't learn from it,
you be like the children of Israel. Children of Israel going around 40 years instead of 11 days.
All right, so those are our call to actions. We want to encourage you all to keep persevering, right?
Mm-hmm.
Continue to be bold. Be in that hashtag Black Women Who Lead.
Yes, hashtag Bold Black Girls.
Yes.
And you will see if you're watching us on YouTube, we have our Bold Black Girls shirts. By now, you are able to purchase them online on boldblackgirls.com. So go ahead and get your Bold Black Girls shirt and then post it and hashtag the Bold Black Girls podcast so we can know that you got your shirt. And have a bold
week. But before, we want them to rate
you. Well, yeah. You know what? I feel like I'll be telling y'all all the time. Y'all already know. I'm already talking about that rating and review. But yes, please rate and review and let us know anything you want us to talk about or any comments you may have. You can also send us an email. So hit us up on boldblackgirls.com.
All right.
All right, now you can have a bold week. See ya.